Well, this is it. My analysis on the legendary Son Goku. I'm gonna be focusing on the manga, so no anime filler or movies. The story starts off with Goku living in Mount Pazu, where he hunts and has a set containing his most cherished possession, the 4-star ball. The ball is his memento for Gohan, and because Grandpa Gohan was the one who raised and loved him, Goku cherished the ball more than anything else at the time. Goku was also shown talking to the ball, which showed he believed in reincarnation, which he must have learned from Gohan before his death. Bulma shows up to Goku and introduces herself to him. Goku's interaction with Bulma was the first of the many scenes that showcased Goku's little knowledge of the world and how he only knew as much as his deceased Grandpa Gohan taught him, and not by what he actually seen, which is why he couldn't tell what most things were by mere sight alone, and seemed oblivious to the world. He couldn't tell Bulma was a girl until she told him, and was later shown to be surprised by the features of a girl. Bulma explained to Goku about the Dragon Balls and how his grandpa's ball was one of them. Goku wasn't interested in exploring the world, but Bulma mentioned how Gohan informed Goku to treat girls with respect, which led to Goku deciding to join Bulma. This scene showcased a key side of Goku, his desire to honor Grandpa Gohan, a side which influenced his later actions in the series. Although he treats girls nice, Goku didn't have any romantic interest in girls. Goku was indifferent about beauty in women. He viewed all girls equally in terms of beauty because he didn't have any human feelings to guide him to the human ideal of beauty. He only found them stranger than men because of their features in comparison. This is a result of what Goku was used to growing up with only his grandpa as well as his genetics. Same blood. This was shown in scenes such as when Master Roshi showed him 2 girls, with Goku not being able to tell which one was beautiful, and when Goku brought back a huge and not so attractive woman when Roshi told him to bring back a pretty woman. Goku's training with Krillin, the rival turned best friend through the bond they shared during their training under the teachings of Master Roshi, which was reflected through the tournament itself, was what molded Goku into the fighter he grew up to be. Master Roshi taught Goku that there's always someone better and that he shouldn't be seduced by the adulation or status that comes with pursuing martial arts, but rather see events such as the World Tournament, and in turn the goals that inspired him and others to become martial artists, as only a checkpoint to evaluate his growth as a fighter, but not substantiate it. This important life lesson is the foundation of Goku and his belief as a fighter, with each challenge Goku faced strengthening that belief because he was always able to surpass his own limits through his work without status or titles being a barrier for his potential. Training under Roshi led to Goku breaking the human wall, an aspect of his character that has a deeper meaning once his heritage was introduced later on. Goku is known to constantly push his limits and always preferring a fair fight. Where that mentality derived from was during his training with Master Roshi. When Goku was delivering milk as his training session, Goku was warned out and suggested using the Nimbus, with Roshi replying that it wouldn't be training and that Gohan did the same training. This hits home the theme of improving oneself because the training was to improve the body, with the Nimbus negating that. This motivated Goku to push on and always believe in a fair fight because he strongly cherishes his grandpa. The Red Ribbon Army arc was one of the most important arcs for Goku's development. It starts off with him going on a selfish quest to retrieve his 4-star ball, but in the process learned how much people cherishes their lives and took responsibility for it, leading to him going on a selfless quest to obtain all the Dragon Balls. Goku learning how much people cherishes their lives stemmed from a hostage scene, where General White from the Red Ribbon Army held the village chief hostage. He threatened to kill the chief if Goku makes a move on him, and Goku was reluctant to do anything at first, but then the chief exclaimed that saving the village is more important than saving him. Goku, after hearing that, instantly was about to comply with that notion until the chief said he still wants to be saved. Goku then was reluctant yet again. This scene had a great impact on Goku's character. Goku is pure of heart, yet had no troubles killing the innocent chief. This was because he wasn't pure by human standards and thus didn't feel like humans, despite being taught morals by Grandpa Gohan and comprehended said morals. Goku realized that humans cherish their lives to the point that they'd value it more than the greater cause through their village chief. This was the start of another one of Goku's themes, the meaning of purity. Later on the Red Ribbon Army arc, during when he met Upa and his father Bora, Tao showed up to kill Goku for the Red Ribbon Army. Bora instead fought Tao in his place, with Goku letting him. This led to Bora dying and Upa alone without a father. This was a pivotal moment for Goku because it made him take responsibility for the lives of others. When he saw Upa mourning over his loss, Goku stared at his grandpa's ball, the ball which saved his life from Tao. This symbolized how Gohan was his motivation for taking said responsibility, because Upa's loss was a reflection of the loss Goku himself faced when Gohan died because he thought he attracted Tao much like he attracted the Azaru. This symbolized and foreshadowed that Goku needed to fully understand himself. His lack of understanding of himself was what led to Gohan's death, and his selfishness led to Upa's death. This is why Goku decided to gather all the Dragon Balls to wish Bora back instead of his selfish quest. He felt responsible for Bora's death because he attracted the danger of Tao towards him. Afterwards, he climbed up Korin's tower and met Korin. Goku was tasked to take the sacred water from Korin, who was too skilled and fast for Goku. Goku at this point was highly motivated, which led to the scene when he contemplated taking the water from Korin during his sleep. Goku was inches away from grabbing it, but paused and thought to himself. Although Goku strongly wanted to revive Bora, to atone for allowing him to die, he also strongly believed in fairness as a fighter, both of which was a result of him honoring Gohan. This was the start of Goku's defining characteristics, his conflicted nature. In the end, Goku decided not to cheat, believing he'd be able to work for it. But it was really his true nature that made that decision, which was revealed later on. In the end, Goku was able to take the water, but it was revealed that the water was actually ordinary water he was working for. The power he gained came from the work he put into the water, not the water itself, which reinforced the main theme of the show, valuing hard work over the reward. During the Barber Tournament saga, Goku competed to get the last Dragon Ball and wished Bora back. When Goku brought Upa via Nimbus Cloud, he gave Upa words of encouragement, almost like an older brother. Goku reveals that he was once scared like Upa too, but after exploring the world realized how much fun it is. He also told Upa that it'd be possible for him to experience all that fun once he trains and learns from Bora, much like Goku did from Gohan. His final opponent of the tournament was revealed to be none other than his grandpa. A touching moment ensued with him reuniting with his grandpa after his match. This was the first and only time Goku was shown crying, which furthered the impact of it, because he cherished his grandpa more than anything else. It showed a vulnerable side to Goku, showing that no matter how joyous one appears, some scars don't truly heal, something that is brought up again later on in the series. Him going to care more for lives also influenced his emotion towards Gohan. Gohan explained that he was wearing the masks to make sure Goku didn't hold back, and evaluated his progress. He also told Goku that he also needed to work on his weakness, his tail, which was revealed to be a grander weakness once his heritage was introduced later on. Goku took Gohan's advice during the 22nd World Tournament, further showing how Gohan motivates his actions. The main theme of Goku's character during the Red Ribbon Army arc to the Barber arc was the responsibility of one's actions and the rewards that come with it, a corresponding theme of a later arc. Goku's reaction to Krillin's death was a reflection on how much he grew from the Red Ribbon Army arc. He truly felt the pain of loss, to the point that he was out for revenge and was willing to take great measures to avenge his friend's death by drinking the real sacred water that could have led to his death and gaining greater power. Although he hates taking shortcuts, he was in the most dire situation and had no choice. After he defeated King Piccolo, Mr. Popo soon reminded him that statuses are no barrier for power, and that there's always someone better by outclassing him in every way and teaching him more ways to improve his fighting methods. During the 23rd World Tournament, Goku has now grown into a young adult, where he met the girl he promised to marry as a child, Chi-Chi. Goku's purity and his desire to honor his grandpa led to him accepting the marriage, even though he doesn't have any romantic feelings for Chi-Chi and women in general. It took an unconventional guy like Goku It goes against the ideal pure-hearted person to court someone like Chi-Chi, who attempted to follow the ideal steps for marriage, but by marrying Goku did the opposite due to not being very bright, similar to how Goku misunderstood marriage due to not being very bright himself. I believe there's a hidden message there about how we perceive love as a species back then, because standards for a man used to be to have a wife and child, and to be a pure person would be to have the required feelings that come with that. But with Goku, his pureness did not give him any predetermined straightness because that's not what his purity stems from. He only married a woman because he followed what he perceived to be society's standards at the time, and as a result Goku felt obliged, but not romantic. I believe it's commentary about how we're not truly following our hearts, but rather what society determines our hearts should be like. After the epic fight between Goku and Piccolo Jr., Goku made a decision that foreshadows what's to come in the Z era, giving Piccolo a sensor beam and allowing him to escape for the sake of having a rival to test his limits on. It may appear that Kami's ties to Piccolo was what the decision stemmed from, but little did Goku know that it was actually an action that stems from his heritage.